Insight 187. One must at all times endeavor to be as objective and truthful as possible to oneself. If lust is overpowering one's thinking, it is okay to continue to lust and pleasure oneself, but one must not abandon honesty. As soon as one is able to see the illusion for what it really is, one should be fully and deeply concentrated at that moment in order to grasp and know the illusion and the reason for its potency. This deep concentration and perception of reality usually occurs after the sexual pleasure is finished. With practice, concentrated perception is experienced just before completion of pleasure, and with further practice, concentrated perception is experienced in the interim stage of pleasure. Interim means in the middle of experiencing pleasure. One becomes adept at identifying the illusion by concentrated perception before the pleasure starts, when this knowledge over time has started to be established in the consciousness of the individual. After such establishment of knowledge, still the individual might continue in lust, but the frequency is much less and the consciousness of the individual returns very quickly to its proper, sober position. The individual's progress continues until his mental perspective, which is used to express his sexuality, is no longer identified with lust. The experienced person about this knowledge is no longer forcefully engaged in sexual gratification by means of visual stimuli presented by the manipulator. So, your honest observation, you being totally honest with yourself, is paramount, is so vitally important. Whether you are in life, not lusting, or when you're in any stage of lust, just getting aroused, being in the middle of arousal, or just after arousal has finished, when you have finished the self-pleasure and now you're aware. Each of these points, it is vital for you to be aware. Aware, why exactly are you focused on lust? Why are you focused on a particular thing, subject? You want to see the manipulations, if there are any, and understand it. Understand why. Why is it potent? What is the manipulation and why is it potent? Identify its reasons. You want to have to break it down. You want to dissect it. Each of the reasons. It could have many reasons. Because you want to be conscious of it. You want to identify it. And you need your honest observation to do so. So, whether you continue with pleasure or not, whether you satisfy or not yourself or not, that is not the issue. The issue is, can you spot the manipulations? Because your advancement on is dependent on you identifying the manipulations. So, at first, a lot of you will experience being conscious right after the pleasure is over. With continuous practice, you'll learn to be conscious just before self-pleasure is going to be over. After a while, with even more practice, you'll be aware, you'll be very conscious and alert in mid-pleasure. With further practice, you'll be conscious before even getting into pleasure, just before pleasure starts. You catch yourself, you go, oh, I'm starting to feel aroused. Okay, so what's going on? What am I being influenced by? What was I thinking? What was I feeling? You see? There you go.